Good morning, Sports and Coffee. This is Big Country Time Sports. We're playing the Big Country Football League 1952, Week 3, Game 3. This is the game of the week. It is a rematch of the 51 championship, Coaldale at Middletown. Coaldale is 2-0. The last game they lost was the championship game to this team, Middletown. Middletown is 1-1. Coaldale's defense against Middletown's offense puts Middletown at an F, a pedestrian offense, not even pedestrian, a bad offense today against Coaldale's defense. Coaldale will be on the D charts against Middletown's brilliant defense. Middletown has a remarkable comeback. They have an A-rated comeback as well. So Coaldale needs to be a couple of scores ahead going into the final drive of the game, or Middletown could steal this game on a comeback drive. Coaldale is coached by George Vitch. He is the owner, coach, and former player. He is now the owner and the coach. Bellows at quarterback, Plum at halfback. He is an A if I'm playing Football Time version 3. Plum would actually use the A charts for runs. Greg, Porter, and Brady are the top receivers. Assuming Greg's the fullback, Porter, Brady, and Wellington are the chief receivers. Kleinhaus, last year's Defensive Player of the Year, Farmer, and Fairbanks. Belgrade does their place kicking. This team is a BB, and they are currently undefeated. They would love to redeem the championship embarrassment of a 24-0 drubbing at the hands of Middletown in the 51 championship. This is the day to get it done. Middletown, although only 1-1 with a rough offense, they feel good about their 52 season with this defense. Head coach Jamison Ragsdale, who finally overcame last year and got a championship. Hess, again, these extra grades would come into play in Football Time 3 on the single die charts. For those who don't know, there was a Football Time version 3 book that has a single die game engine as well, which is great. I have multiple full game engines that use simple charts. Football Tucker, Mike, Ross, and Kingsmith are our receivers. Reese, Candellini, and Erickson is a formidable A-rated defense. Ulsa does the place kicking. This is the game of the week, and this is a rematch of the championship. Coaldale gets the ball first on the kickoff, and 6, they're going to score a touchdown right out of the gate. So Middletown goes right down the field getting the kickoff, and Middletown's going to score swing pass, Ragsdale, out to the halfback. Ragsdale swing pass to Hess. PAT's good, and 7-0. And this defense now can go to work. As the Coaldale Miners lost 24-0 to this team, that can't bode well for their confidence early. 6, touchdown. Well, Coaldale is going to go down and score, and they're going to get 7-8. Running back crossbuck Plum punches it in on a crossbuck, and it's 7-7, folks. The crowd here on their feet at Middletown, as this is the measure of Middletown. If they can beat Coaldale, they got a good chance to repeat as champions. Middletown's next drive is 3. 3 on the F charts is a punt. And on the D charts, Coaldale finishing up the first, scores a touchdown. Coaldale, it's what they needed to do. It's going to be another Plum touchdown. PAT, folks, it is Coaldale 14, Middletown 7. And it ain't going to do, it's going to be a tough road to hoe for Middletown. Using the F charts the remainder of the game. Middletown starts the second quarter. Touchdown, never mind, spoke too late. Touchdown with a chance to miss the PAT. They do not. The touchdown is a 9, 10, 11, 12. It's going to be a quarterback fade pass. Wow, Ragsdale looking good. Ragsdale fade pass to Mike, the league's top receiver. PAT's good. Coaldale reeling, as here they think they've got this game under control, and Middletown right down the field. Coaldale 5 is a field goal. So Belgrade hits a field goal, keeping that lead. And Middletown, 2. 2 is an event. Uh-oh, this could be huge. Can Coaldale's defense score? 3. Field goal blocked. So they blocked Middletown's kick. Also, field goal blocked. And they're going to scoop it up. Where's it at? And use the A column. So Coaldale, who's a D in this game, right before the half, will get to use the A column. Can they score? 4. Yep, a field goal. Well, they're going to get another Belgrade field goal. And they'll accept that because it gives them a nice cushion. Ragsdale scored a touchdown. They had a block. And then Belgrade gets 2 kicks. Folks, it's 20-14 at halftime. Georgievic and his Coaldale Miners feel really good as they are beating the team that whooped them in the championship last year. Georgievic gives a rousing halftime speech. He may have oversold his goods in the 3rd game of the year, right? You want to save those rousing speeches for the playoffs and the championships. But Georgievic's, again, a former owner, player, and coach, he's feeling he needs to goose his team into knowing they could go undefeated and win it all. They are currently 2-0. Let's see if they come out of the halftime pep talk and score a touchdown. They are on the D charts. Yep, touchdown. Unbelievable. Georgievic gives a rousing speech, and they go out to a capacity crowd cheering down Coaldale. They march right down the field, and it's going to be a quarterback seam pass. Bellows. Seam pass. That's their tight end, Wellington. PAT, the crowd stunned as it's now 27-14. And Middletown is using the F charts. It's going to be a tough road to hoe to come back. And I wrote a 1. Oh no, it could be a defensive score. Yeah, pick 6. Coaldale's got him now. So Georgievic's halftime speech. They march right down the field on this A-rated defense, punch it in on a seam route, and then they pick 6. Ragsdale, unbelievable. Ragsdale intercepted. Fairbanks, pick 6. Pick 6. And by the way, that counts as their possession. PAT is good. And folks, the Middletown fans are absolutely beside themselves. What has happened here? It is 5. It's going to be a field goal, though, for Ulsa. So they're not dead yet. 14 points for Coaldale. And 3. Holy cow, folks. 34-17. 4th quarter. I don't think Middletown has the juice to make the comeback. Here we go. Coaldale Miners wrapping it up with a big drive, maybe. 4. It's going to be a punt. Middletown has to score and get the onside kick. Middletown, 3. They're not going to do it. It's a punt. Coaldale, 5. is going to score a field goal for good measure to put this game away. Belgrade. And last but not least, using the comeback grade of A, Middletown goes down the field and forced to punt. It's going to be end of game. Time expired. We don't even track the punt, as they would not dare punt. Well, they might if it's a real blowout, which this was pretty much. So let's see here, 28-34, 37-17. Coaldale is 3-0. Middletown is 1-2. Folks, we're looking at Coaldale being the team to beat this year. 37 on the D charts. They scored 37. 17 for Middletown. 3-0. Coaldale. I'm just going to put total team effort. So the rousing halftime speech by Georgievic certainly worked. However, he may have spent that chip. He needed that ace up his sleeve for the playoffs or the championship. However, Georgievic will be able to remind his team what they did to Middletown early in the year with a drubbing as a playoff slash championship reminder of how good they are. They went 7-1 last year and lost the championship. Finished 7-2 to Middletown, and they are now 10-2 over the last 12 games. Middletown, it's going to be a Ragsdale. He threw 2 touchdowns. Ragsdale, 2 TDs, 1 pick 6. So he threw 2 touchdowns, but he threw the game-killing pick 6. And that wraps up week number 3. So for those who don't know, week 3, I only recorded the game of the week right now. Springfield won 35-24. They are 2-1. Pip had 3 touchdowns. He actually threw an 18. I rolled an 18 in that game. He threw a halfback pass for a touchdown. Ultra rare halfback pass. Grantham threw 2 touchdowns in that loss. Then Central City, in a good one, 26-31. They lose to Unionville, who was 0-2. Sullivan, 2 touchdowns for Sullivan. 1 rushing is a quarterback bootleg and a pass. And Everett for Unionville had 3 rushing touchdowns for Unionville. And they were 0-2, so they needed that win. And then the one you've just watched, Coaldale hammers by 20 points. Middletown 37-17, and that was on the D charts, folks. And Middletown on the F charts pulled 17, so that's just beautiful. I've said it before, the charts look like they're going to always be, but boy, we get some dynamic scores, which is just phenomenal. Which has always been true of my football time, basketball time, baseball time, but especially football because of the nature of scoring in football. It's always been a very dynamic. All right, week 4, we're going to see Middletown and Central City go at it. They're both 1-2. We're going to see Grand Bay and Coaldale. Grand Bay is 1-2, and Coaldale, of course, undefeated. And then we're going to get to see 1-2 Unionville at 2-1 Springfield. So it looks like Springfield, this could be their year to finally get to a shot at the title. Springfield has never been, in my 5 or 6 years of playing the Big Country universe, has never been to a title. All right, folks, thanks for watching. This has been Big Country Time Sports Football Time, the Big Country Football League, and we have seen Coaldale exact revenge for the championship drubbing that Middletown put on him in 51, a 24-0 game. Today, Coaldale comes out on top, 37-17. Thanks to Georgievich's halftime speech. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.